Ballhead. Not the most imaginative slander. Well, it didn't start off a tradition.
Right.
But it's quickly become one of our most beloved traditions on this show is to review a best of time travel movie list.
Oh, yeah, great.
A lot of people sent this in last week. This is from The Guardian.
Mm-hmm.
You know The Guardian, the one that passively aggressively asks you if you're going to start supporting them when you go visit them.
You know what I love about that is the fact that it passively aggressive asks, but at the same time it's like, yeah, but we're cool if you don't. Like, we need to point out we're cool people, and it's cool if you don't support us. We do want to just point out that you've read 165 articles in the last 2 days. But if you don't want to support us, that's still cool because we're still cool. But like heaps of other people are supporting us, and look, we're keeping track of how much you're fucking reading on our site, and you're not supporting us. Anyway, we're cool. You can keep reading it. It is absolutely fine. This is not saying that you can't read it, but also give us some fucking money. You're here all the time.
So these lists, they've in the past we've read them. They've ranged from the absolutely like deranged.
Yes.
Others are used as sort of platforms for comedy. This one I believe is sort of more in the comedic sort of realm.
Okay.
Like it's by a journalist called Stuart Heritage, who I believe is an English writer.
Okay.
I just had a quick scan through some of his he's a pop culture writer
Right.
for The Guardian in the UK.
And this is a list, right? So this is technically a heritage list. Do you think he's just got into this business of lists just because his last name is Heritage and he thought it was good branding?
It's like a bookman working at a library. So, previous headlines, A Mask of Unadorned Misery, How Ben Affleck Became the World's Biggest Meme, or Anti-Woke Nightmare, Why the Fawlty Tales Remake is Truly a Nauseating Idea. So this is
You know what I love about Stuart Heritage's work? Is I have read both of those previous articles. I really should I should start supporting The Guardian. I haven't read this one, but I've definitely read those other two.
All right. Well, so give me what's the sense of is he writing a humorous kind of pop culture?
Yeah, it's pop culture with a tongue in cheek, but not necessarily comedy, like just more like, in that pop culture world and writes with the sensibility of that world.
Yeah. Okay. So he starts off as Adam Driver accidentally winds up 65 million years ago, facing not just dinosaurs, but an asteroid. Is that really what that plot of that movie is about?
Well, from the trailer, it seems to be that's what the plot of that movie is about.
So he arrives on Earth the day an asteroid's coming to wipe out the dinosaurs.
Oh, not the day. I think that from the trailer, you get the impression that it's towards the end of the dinosaurs, right? So if there is an asteroid, then I guess that's they're saying that people think that it was an asteroid that killed the dinosaurs, and so
but we all know it was vaccines.
Yeah, exactly.
With multiple boosters, gave them autism and then killed them. Haven't you seen those TikTok videos of all those trembling dinosaurs?
Oh, mate.
I can't even reach my food. It's because you're a T-Rex. Your arms aren't long enough. It's nothing to do with the vaccine. The vaccine's actually protected you.
I was looking at these cave drawings by Ugg Rogan, and just got a lot of interesting ideas, So he arrives, he's from future.
Jamie, chisel that shit.
It is either a person from another universe, who, space traveler, or it is a human being, who is so advanced technologically that, human beings are not what we imagine human beings are, and he can travel through time. And I think it's a bit, it's got that vibe from the trailer, which I've watched a couple of times, of a bit Planet of the Apes-y, where, hey, I think I'm on a different planet, but it turns out I've gone back, 65 million years and I've actually landed on Earth, and it's the time of the dinosaurs. So he's there. There's some young girl in it as well. And they're like running from dinosaurs and having to fight dinosaurs. And then I guess, the asteroid might be part of that plot line. I've got to be honest with you, for something that looks like one of the dumbest ideas of all time, every time I've watched a trailer for it, I've thought, I'm definitely going to watch that movie. Like it actually looks much more interesting to me than any of the Jurassic Park films. Like if I was going to watch something with dinosaurs, this feels more like my jam.
Well, Iona is way into dinosaurs, like most little kids. Volcanoes, especially. Actually, we bought, one of those science project. You build your own volcano and you fill it with baking soda. We did that. Managed to kill half my lawn. Turns out vinegar and baking soda. on your lawn will kill the grass right down to the roots.
Right.
But I've been thinking about because there is this thing about dinosaurs where kids love them, but they're virtually monsters. There's sort of this fine line. So you want to kind of give them enough to kind of satiate, but not give them nightmares. So I've been trying. She wants to watch videos on dinosaurs, and it's always like the more realistic, like the special effects are when they're doing those docos or whatever about dinosaurs, the more terrifying they are. It's almost like it's better to watch the really dinky, 15-year-old CGI dinosaurs.
Oh yeah, no, you want them to be rounded off and purple.
Like my mustache.
Yeah, no sharp edges, either on your face or in your dinosaur documentaries.
Okay, so let's get into Stuart's list. 20 films. We're going to try and whip through these. Well, no, we're not. We're going to time them perfectly to get to 1 hour.
Yeah,
so
we got about 38 minutes of us whipping through these.
Okay, so the first one. Do you want to take a punt? I'll give you a clue.
Okay.
Action time travel.
Action time travel, Looper.
No, more 90s. In fact, the last line
Terminator.
of his paragraph is, it's the most 90s film ever made. So
okay. Then
extrapolate from that. So 90s... I would say this would fall more into B category. I mean, mainstream, big star at the time, mainstream studio release, but definitely B elements. In fact, may have inspired a certain Tofop character that has been spun off.
Okay. So Quantum Cop, and it's like a B movie time travel movie.
My clue is you've used the word. There's 2 words in the name of the movie.
Time Cop.
Time Cop. That's it. Regardless of what anyone says, I believe in my heart that Time Cop was greenlit because someone showed a studio executive a picture of Jean-Claude Van Damme and said the word Time Cop out loud, at which point they had to throw a script together as quickly as possible. Nothing about Time Cop makes sense. It's the most 90s film ever made. I've seen this a long time ago. I can barely remember it, but I think it's like Ron Silver plays a bad guy who goes back in time to kill Lincoln again or earlier or something like that. Maybe just shoot some slugs in or once he's already dead. Doesn't make any sense. And Jean-Claude Van Damme is Time Cop and has got to chase him through time and does the splits in his apartment when someone tries to shoot him. He jumps up onto his kitchen bench and does the splits.
I feel like I've seen that image, but I'm not sure that I've ever actually seen the movie Time Cop.
I mean, maybe I haven't seen Time Cop either, but I feel like I have. Maybe it's just having written 5 issues of Quantum Cop.
I've got to be honest with you. After you describing that, I feel like I've seen Time Cop. I feel like I could just make up the rest in my head, but I'm not sure I've actually ever watched it.
Okay. Next film, number 19. I wouldn't want to get this one back to front when I'm reading the description.
When you're reading the description.
Yeah,
so you don't want to get it back to front because you're reading the description.
I wouldn't read his review, start at the end and then go back to the start.
Memento?
No. But the other one.
Tenet.
Tenet.
Okay.
He says, I had to be careful here because Tenet might not be a time travel movie. Certainly time passes in it and some of the people are going backwards in time. That's a good point. Does that count as time travel?
I mean, they travel backwards in time. So isn't that time travel in the very, I know.
Yeah, in the very basic.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess you're defying, in terms of the sci-fi, you are defying physics by being able to move backwards.
You can move backwards and forwards in time at the same time, right? And for us, moving forwards in time, we don't consider time travel, although technically I guess it is. If you move backwards at the same time, we consider time travel to be, you've got to jump, I guess, don't we?
Yeah. No, yeah. I mean, look, I widen the definition because I think the sci-fi element of moving backwards through time, because it's in its nature impossible, that to me qualifies it as a time travel film. Like, I don't think you can say Boyhood is a time travel film, even though we see a boy jump through time, forwards, because that is the natural flow of time, at least the way we perceive it. But if a character can actively move backwards, then I think that counts as time travel.
And yet Boyhood technically absolutely is a time travel movie in the sense that, yes, it was filmed in real time, but we don't see the entire filming in real time. We actually get to see people jump through time, travel through
Yeah.
time, like get older
Yeah.
and experience different eras.
in
But
a
yeah,
short space of time. Yeah.
but I do think that Tenet, they're fucking with time and they're
Yeah.
traveling. So that's
Yeah.
enough.
Okay. A film that I have not heard of, therefore you have not heard of,
Okay.
from 1985.
Give me a clue of the name and see if I can guess it. Just
Okay. Ugg Rogan's, if
okay, yeah, all right, good.
could potentially be Ugg Rogan's partner.
Something woman, something girl, something
Yep.
wife.
Correct, girl.
Girl.
Something girl.
Ugg Rogan, cave girl.
Cave girl. Fuck, you're good at this shit.
No,
What game show can we put you on where you just guess
where
poorly
you have to
worded
come in.
clues?
You come in and give me weird, obscure clues, and I see if I can work it out based on that.
Do you think that's a game show we could take to like a streaming service? It's just like there's no contestants. Every week it's just me and you, and I give you the most terrible clues, and you have to guess.
And
the
I see
answer.
if I can work it out. That's the show.
Yeah.
Also, Jean-Claude Van Damme, Time Cop. We've got 2 pictures.
To see the full video, join our Patreon.
Patreon.com/Tofop.